Today, I want to introduce you to foiling, right? Now, what does that mean? Well, let's say we have x minus 3 times x plus 5, and we're multiplying these two together. How do we do that? Well, instinct might tell you to multiply the x's together, and we get x squared, and then you multiply these two integers together, and we get minus 15. Right? And you might think this is the answer. And you wouldn't be super far off, but you're still missing a crucial step, right? When we're multiplying these together, right, what we're going to do is we're going to start with this term right here, and we're going to multiply it by that term. All right, so once again, we get the x squared. Then we take this x, and we're going to multiply it by this term here. So we get plus 5x. And this is the part that you're missing before, right? The multiplying the x by this part. Then we're going to move over to this part here because we multiplied x by both of those. So now we move over to the negative 3 and we multiply it by this x and we get minus 3x. Then we take this negative 3 and we multiply it by the 5. So we get minus 15. So what it really becomes is x squared plus 2x minus 15, right? That's what it means to FOIL. And I think doing this with you with a different example, right, will make it a little bit easier to know why we do this. Let's say we have x minus 3 squared, right? And we want to multiply this. So this also equals x minus 3 times x minus 3. Now we could go do exactly what we just did before again, but that wouldn't really give you much intuition for what we're doing here. So what does it mean to square something, right? Squaring something, if we think about it in terms of geometry, we are in fact making a square. We have a certain area that we're making, right? For example, if we had just 3 squared, right, we would have an actual square with each side length 3, right? So the total area would be 9, right? That's what it means to square something, right? So if we do that but with this, right, we will have this same box, but each side length has the length x minus 3. So this also has x minus 3, right? So what it's easier if we do is we're going to chop this up into smaller parts. So I'm going to draw a little separated, minus 3, and we're going to draw them like this and like this, right? Now, if we want to figure out what the area of this box is, what can we do? Well, we can figure out what the area of each individual box is here and add them all up, right? So, say we multiplied these two together, right? This also has a side length x. So this is x times x. That's x squared. So this box has an area x squared. Then we take this negative 3 and we multiply it by this x, right? Because this is a side length negative 3 and this is a side length x. So we get negative 3x. Then what we do is we take this x over here and we multiply it by this negative 3, right? So that's once again minus 3x. Then the last part is we take this negative 3 and multiply it by this negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9, right? So then, now we have the 4 boxes of our total box, right? We have the parts of our area. Now we just want to add them together. So we have x squared minus 3x plus 9. Then we just condense it and we get minus 6x plus 9. And there we have FOILed this, right? And you can test that out, right? If we multiply this by this, we'll get that x squared. If we multiply this by that, we'll get this minus 3. If we multiply this by that, we'll get this minus 3. And if we multiply this by that, we'll get this plus 9, right? So that is what we're doing when we FOIL something. We're essentially finding the area of a box, right? Of a square with each side length of the parts. Meaning, if we go back to the x plus 5, x minus 3 example, I'm not going to do it again, but essentially what we're doing is we are finding the area of a square with the side lengths x minus 3 and x plus 5. And that is why we FOIL and how we FOIL. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you learned something new or if I said anything wrong. Have a great day.